Welcome back to Tux Traveler. You probably have noticed I've not uploaded a video for a while. And the reason for that, there's a couple big reasons. The biggest and foremost is right now I've looked over everything, and since I don't plan on being a van dweller for the rest of my life, and Tux Traveler's always been kind of a side project, I have noticed that the amount of time I have to put into the channel is causing my main channel, switch to Linux, to suffer. And so I'm going to go back and regroup over there. And when we have a good, solid system in place over there and a good schedule and a few weeks of archive videos ready to go, I'm going to push pause on this channel for a little bit. And basically just not upload a whole ton even after that. Though I will get into it, I'm going to be checking the comments on a regular basis. I'm not abandoning the thing, but the reality is I have a limited amount of time, and Switch to Linux is already a big channel with the ability to actually help pay the bills. And so I'm going to refocus and reprioritize time over there. Rather than dividing my time across all these little sub-projects. I'm focusing on web design and development clients, and I'm focusing on building that brand up so that we can get everything paid down and we can make sure that we have a good, sustainable income going into this crazy recession that we have. That being said, I did actually want to do a little video today because it is December 21st when I'm recording this, and it is the shortest day of the year, and I wanted to go ahead and test solar oven and the shortest day of the year. For power ratings, I am actually drawing right around this time of year 900 watts of power max out of my solar panels. 500 watts of solar through a 40 amp MPPT charge controller into 200 amps of lithium ion LifePo technology. LifePo, not lithium ion. And so that's kind of what I'm getting at. And it is at times a little bit hard to run, especially if I have one cloudy day. It'll shut me down. I'm going to have to turn on the engine charger, and I have to be really careful about running the big computer. Now, the good news is from this day forward, the sun starts getting higher in the sky, and I'm going to start maxing back out into the 2 or 3 kilowatts per day, which starts giving me a whole lot more power to work with. So I've been running on low power mode for a while. That means I'm not turning on even my media PC for a while. I'm starting my day with the BitChute videos on the Raspberry Pi, and then I'm moving over to the other computer later. But I did want to test how well will the solar oven work in the shortest day of the year. Of course, we have the bag solar oven, and I did actually pick up at the last campsite I was at, I actually picked up a nice black cast iron little pot, and I put it in there thinking that's going to help increase the solar oven. It's heavier, big black metal thing, going to absorb heat, and it actually made the solar oven cooler for whatever reason. But this black plastic container in here, which is just a little tool, it's drill bits is what it is. That thing builds so much heat into the solar oven. If you buy one of these bag solar ovens, make sure you pick up a case of drill bits there. And this container in here, what I'm cooking in today is, it's another foil pack with green beans, pepper jack cheese, seasoned salt, and a jalapeno cheddar sausage link that has been cut up into pieces, sprinkled in with a little bit of butter. This thing, even the shortest day of the year, after only about 3 or 4 hours in here, I think about 3 hours in here, this food inside the foil pack reached 190 degrees, and it's still hovering at about 190 degrees. I've left it sit in there at that temperature for a few hours. Also, while we're at it, you will notice I have 2 solar kettles now. A friend of mine had a couple spare ones, and I thought, hey, 2 solar kettles would probably help me out. So I took one of those. The other one is, I believe this is, I could be wrong, I believe this is the one, this is Sun Kettle brand. I think that is the one you would get at like Patriot Supply, which is one of the channels that's shilled by a lot of conservative YouTubers. I have found that particular kettle is not nearly as good as the cheaper, higher capacity Amazon kettle. They are both built with the same technology, but for whatever reason, that cheaper one with a higher capacity from Amazon actually heats up water, not significantly faster, but it does heat it up a little bit faster. This is the second one of these kettles. I started this morning with kind of really cold water. It is getting cold in the desert at night. I filled them up last night. They got down, I think they got down to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And I put them out there in the morning, and I boiled my first pot of coffee with just my propane kettle. But they are now both at boiling point. So they are ready to come in and make my tea, and we're gonna fill up my thermos for the morning. So I'll actually be able to start tomorrow with, you know, about 100 or so degree water, which means I'll be able to boil the water a little bit quicker. But even out here, as long as you're getting good full sun and not a lot of wind, this bag solar oven works great. And both solar kettles do work great. So I was able to cook my dinner and boil my second cup of coffee and enough for a hot cup of tea tonight, and then still have near boiling water which is going to stay really hot in my thermos until morning. And it won't be quite hot enough to make coffee with first thing in the morning, but it'll be close enough that I can set this out, take my walk in the morning, come back, and I might be able to use that without having to heat the water again. But just shortest day of the year, as long as you don't have a lot of clouds, these things are even still going to work. So I can give, after having this for about, I don't know, what did I have this for? About 8 months or so. Used it several times. I can actually kind of recommend this bag solar oven, with the limitations that you would have to have something in it to weigh it down. That something should be a black plastic case bit of tools, is what I found works best. Cast iron pots, they just don't pull in enough heat for whatever reason. Can't figure it out. It actually cools the thing down. If you get that, you get the black containers with clear plastic lids. Set those on top. This oven will get super hot, even in that, as long as it's not super windy. So that's my little wrap up for now. I'll try and do maybe a video a month at the bare minimum until I get things running. But until that Switch to Linux channel is running like a fine oiled machine again, don't expect a whole ton of videos over on this channel for a little bit. I will be monitoring the comments though, so you can still feel free to leave me comments, whatever else. Well guys, thanks for watching. We will see you a little bit further down the road.